So the saying, stop reading motivational books and show them how motivational looks. It came from the interviews that I would have with people, and they would ask me, almost every other interview, the question would come up. So, you know, who inspires me and who motivates me? You know, what entrepreneurial icons out there am I inspired by? And, you know, I would come up with a few names because I figured, I suppose I should have, you know, some guys out there who do motivate and inspire me. And you know, to be honest, there are a couple, but the reality of it is that I'm more inspired by what I could become. I'm more inspired by potentially how far I can get to. And it's not to discredit any of these, you know, guys who've gone, you know, these great entrepreneurs and motivational guys and all the rest of it. But the fact is, I can't be like them. So for me to look at, and this is not just for me, I think this is where entrepreneurs go wrong, and people who are trying to aspire, I think this is where they go wrong. Wanting to be like one of those guys that have already made it is impossible, you know, because you physically cannot be like them, yeah? You might be able to display aspects which are similar, but you can only be you. So what is more inspiring to me is the best that I can be. I asked a business partner of mine recently, I said to him, you know, how much money do you think, you know, you make before you stop, you know, and you just call it a day? And he said it's not about the money, it's about how far I can take this. It's about how far I can see my potential going. And, you know, that look in his eye, it almost set him on fire once again, right? Because that's exciting to know how great you can become is, I think, more motivational than anything. And I think the reason why I say stop reading motivational books, to show them how motivation looks, again, isn't to discredit the books, but I think the books have a purpose twofold. One, if you're, say, you know, you're an employee and you want to become an entrepreneur, those motivational books should fuel you to the point where you are brave enough, because really that's what the motivation is doing. The motivation is turning that fear into courage, and that courage to leave that, you know, that environment that you're used to, that safety of a job that, you know, we've always been taught, to leave that and to go into the brave new world, to challenge yourself, to come out completely outside of your comfort zone and to do something very different, which is entrepreneurship. It should fuel you to do that. Then once you are an entrepreneur, those motivational books or videos or whatever, that material should just be there to keep you going. Yeah, it shouldn't form the basis of what it is that you're trying to achieve, and neither should it form the blueprint for what you want to become. Yeah, it should at the very most allow you to take examples or to take ideas that you will put into your own pot to make your own recipe. And I think that entrepreneurs need to start to become more centered, more focused internally on what it is that they can become and what it is that, you know, they should be looking to achieve. Because and I'll give you another example. When I first started the business, I remember I went to a networking breakfast, and at the end of the breakfast, I was introduced to the rest of the business owners there by the person who brought me to the meeting, and they said, "Oh, Julian knows quite a bit about how to, you know, generate business using, you know, the internet and technology and stuff." And someone asked me a question, said, "Oh, well, I've got a website doing, you know, whatever it was at the time. You know, what can I do?" So I remember I wasn't really that confident. I kind of looked down at my feet and I said, "Oh, well, you know, there's a couple of strategies that you can employ, and, you know, there's this technology and you can use, you know, this strategy and so on and so forth." And I was kind of rambling on, and as I looked up, there were, you know, what started off at 2, there was like 6, 7, 8 people hanging on my every word. And I remember a week later, I closed my first client. And that experience gave me more motivation than anything I'd ever read. Because showing them what motivation looks like means that you have to do something which proves to yourself that you're actually being able to make a difference. And once somebody says, you know what, that was a great product, or that was a great service, or they pat you on the back, or they shake your hand, or they give you part of their hard-earned cash for whatever it is that you're doing, yeah, that is motivational in itself. And those are the moments that you should be creating in your business. Those moments where it qualifies what it is you're doing, right? That it proves that what it is you're doing is right, that whatever you plan to do, whatever your dream was, that you're creating those actual moments in reality that demonstrate that you are correct. And that's what showing them what motivation looks means. That it means that you now become you become self-starting. You can drive yourself towards your highest potential, and you don't have to rely on the motivational books. But if you want to, dip in and out and borrow ideas and, have them nudge you along the way, that's great. But really, that true motivational drive should come from you, and it should come from the moments that you create, which prove that what you're doing is making a difference.